New York City,
Napa Valley,
Arctic Circle,
Düsseldorf,
Mount McKinley,
Madrid,
Fairbanks, and
La Habana.
It's been nearly 10 years since I was last in Havana. I was born there. The following is a chronicle of my last two trips, resumed into one. Here we are approaching Jose Marti International Airport.
Habana, hermosa Habana, lindo es tu prado, lindas son tus calles, bello es tu mar. Bom, bom, bom. Habana, a ti llega mi canto, como el gemir de violines que solo tocan para ti. Se ven en el cielo azul volar.
As I arrive in Havana, my childhood friend Ariel, the guy I grew up with, picks me up at the airport in his old Soviet Lada. On the way from the airport, the car breaks down. It is the fuel pump, apparently. Obviously, he knows exactly what's wrong.
Tengo que rebajarle el pasto a la cena también. Esto plástico está aquí. Se lo tengo que rebajar unos milímetros para que el tipo camine.
This car has been pieced together with parts from different Lada models and other cars along the years. It all works out okay, and we take a break at Rio Cristal for some Cristal beer.
Ariel, tomamos una Cristal, estamos en Río Cristal, salimos al aeropuerto, el carro tuvo problemas técnicos y tuvimos que pasar por acá un momentico. Acabo de llegar a La Habana.
And we break down again.
Avanzamos un poquito, paramos para descansar, preparamos, continuamos 200 metros más.
I'm staying at my cousin's apartment on the 6th floor, which is situated smack in the middle of Havana, sort of in between the Vedado neighborhood and Centro Havana. It is very close to the University of Havana too. My friend Titico has been able to get us a house on the beach for $10 a night.
Estamos en las negociaciones de la casa, tú sabes.
No, Titico, no.
Ariel is the big negotiator.
Personas que tienen muchos clientes con una buena casa. Yo no puedo decir aguántame. Después al final no se da y yo no puedo quedar más con ellos. Pero yo te expliqué, yo no puedo quedar más con ellos.
My cousin Daisy wants to show off her home, the place where I spent a good part of my childhood, since this used to be my grandmother's apartment.
Daisy, gastándome la cámara.
Ya, voy a poner la pausa.
I managed to rent a compact Hyundai, or Hyundai as they call them in Cuba, and off we go to the beach. On the way, we pick up my other friend Serrade. Our destination, Guanabo. It is a beach town located roughly 15 or 16 miles east of the center of Havana, near the end of a strip of beaches called Playas del Este, or Beaches of the East.
Hola, soy Robin. Muchacho, la piedra costó creo que... Pues, bro, dale suave que en esta época aquí esto es complicado. Mucha gente, alcoholizado, la mayor parte de ellos. Mira, comen melones por allá. Ah, aquí, sí, pero este no es el que yo compré, mamita. Este vale 10 cañas la libra, una cosa así.
Sí, aquí dos carísimos.
Sí, no, porque yo compré unos melones cuando venía sin fuego para acá, que me costaba $2.50 el melón, una cosa así.
We arrive at the famous $10 house.
La playa, miren el mar ese, qué color más lindo tiene.
And the house turns out to be adequate, even ocean view, but there's a catch. As soon as we arrive, the owner tells us he's not allowed to rent to foreigners, only nationals. Had I arrived in an old beat-up Moscovich, there wouldn't have been a problem. but my brand new rental is a dead giveaway to the authorities, so we're allowed to stay for the day after some negotiation and $10, but we must leave by sundown. We decide to enjoy the day and figure something out later.
Ahí me tienen. Aquí en Guanabo. Seguiremos informando.
After a couple of hours in the sun, we go back to the house for snacks and drinks. And jokes.
Eso fue calculado, no te vayas tú a pensar. Yo me lo imaginé. Eso fue estudiado. Esta espumita tan alta.
And homemade ice cream sandwiches.
No, ahí te da casero.
Esto más o menos es el centro de...
Time to go back to Havana. We take a quick detour towards another nearby beach, Boca Ciega, to reminisce and evoke good times spent decades ago.
¿Dónde está la casa que nos quedamos? Para allá,
mira ahí. Que la hicieron.
Ahí también tengo una. Ah, pero esto, por aquí tuvimos la primera vez que vine.
Mira, la casa es esta. Lo que no es, ya
esta es la casa donde nos quedamos.
No tiene nada.
Actually, I remember our vacation home of the late 80s quite differently. Distant memories usually are.
Este es el puente de Boca Ciega. Esto que hay aquí es el puente de madera de Boca Ciega. Se frustraron los planes, vamos para La Habana, pero vamos a pasarla bien de todas formas.
Havana.
We encounter a big traffic jam as we approach the Bay Tunnel. This is one of the infamous camellos, Spanish for camels. It's a large bus made out of a semi-truck. They are compared to R-rated movies because they contain adult language, sex, and violence. Go figure.
Voy a preguntarle a alguien qué pasa.
Sí, están mal.
Ellos sí están parados.
Ahora se están...
Ahorita me voy a complejar.
Oye, tú sabes, ahora que yo lo pienso, ¿por qué esta senda estaba avanzando? Es porque la gente ha hecho eso por ahí adelante.
Claro.
We see a lot of people turning around and they say, when in Rome, actually when in Havana, I get everybody out of the car to reduce the weight and we take the long route around the bay.
¡Métele, Robert, métele! Bueno, aquí estamos buscando lugares en el directorio telefónico de La Habana, pero se ha pasado ya como una hora y no hemos encontrado nada.
No sea difamante. Lo que pasa es que la listica no sirve para nada.
Oye.
Para el 17.
We are starving, so we decide to have dinner at Chinatown. Havana's Chinatown was at one point one of the largest in Latin America, but is now nearly defunct, since most of the Chinese left after the 1959 revolution, and is now mostly a tourist attraction.
Está muy bueno. Tiene el arroz frito con un.
Off we go, continuing to roam the dark streets of Havana. I let my friend Titico drive for a change. This is Havana's Malecón, the famous oceanfront avenue. Lots of people come here to hang out at night to enjoy the cool ocean breeze. This particular area is popular with the gay community.
Havana, hermosa Havana.
Havana's Carnival also takes place here in the summer. We are about a week late for that.
Bello es tu mar.
This is the big square in front of the United States interest section. That's where all the big protests take place. It is 1 a.m. and we continue driving now by the tunnel under the Almendares River into Marianao, the western section of the city, and Miramar. After roaming the streets a little more and not finding anywhere else to go, we call it a night. Did I mention Havana is a dark city at night? It's a brand new day. Today we are going to pay a visit to Old Havana. Meanwhile, here's a nice view from the 6th floor to the west and the south of the city. La Víbora and El Cerro neighborhoods.
¿Dónde está mi pequeña joya antillana?
The university.
¿Dónde está mi valiosa perla cubana? ¿Dónde están mi amanecer y mi mañana? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está mi Habana? ¿Dónde está mi Habana? De la que un día me marché, y los charcos de agua en los que me reflejé. ¿Dónde están los amigos que dejé? Y aquellas viejas canciones que olvidé.
On our way to Old Havana, we take a stroll along the Malecón.
Estamos en el famoso muro del Malecón. Allá atrás tenemos el corro en La Habana.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
¿Dónde está mi adorado malecón? ¿Dónde están mi calle y mi balcón? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, tan cerca y tan lejana? ¿Dónde está?
We continue driving east and make another pit stop by San Lázaro Street, which runs parallel to the Malecón. And one more time, we stop by the ocean. We continue driving towards the mouth of Havana's Bay, where El Morro Lighthouse is and La Punta Fortress as well on the other side. This is one of the traditional peanut vendors, which inspired the song. We finally arrive to touristy Old Havana. Of course, once you detour a couple of blocks, it almost looks like a war zone. Okay, today let's do the touristy thing. Let's have a daiquiri at the Floridita, allegedly the birthplace of the daiquiri, and Ernest Hemingway's favorite bar in Havana. Old Havana, as usual, full of tourists. We walk a couple of blocks towards the Central Park with its statue of Cuban hero Jose Marti. former Cuban capital. This is the site of the former presidential palace. Nowadays, it is the Museum of the Revolution. There are several exhibits outside, including the Granma, the yacht used by Castro to disembark in Cuba and start the so-called revolution. We take a busy taxi back to the main center of whole Havana. Christ and Casablanca Observatory. This is the Bay of Havana, with the ever-polluting Nico Lopez oil refinery in the back. Walking around, we stumble upon the Cathedral Square. A little further down the street is the Lonja del Comercio Square and the San Francisco Convent. From the top of the Lonja del Comercio building, we get another commanding view of the city. From a nearby rooftop cafe, we see the Plaza de Armas, El Morro, the Real Fuerza Fortress, and El Templete, the place of the foundation of the city, and the first mass was done in this place too. Back down at street level, this is the Plaza de Armas, and the statue erected to the father of the homeland, Carlos Manuel de Céspedes. The Heraldilla, symbol of Havana, sits on the Real Fuerza watchtower. El Templete, which commemorates the site of the foundation of Havana. We continue driving along the Avenida del Puerto. Here's a segment of the original city walls. Also on Avenida del Puerto, we pass by the decrepit Tallapiedra power plant. A little further down, the historic Central train station. And in front of it, 41 Paula Street, the birthplace of Cuban independence hero and famous poet José Martí. We are back on Avenida del Puerto, and we encounter this curious juvenile band. The rhythm is in the Cuban blood from an early age. One more time, the bay with the Mauro lighthouse marking its entrance. Here's an interesting instrument. This is called an órgano manzanillero, which originated in the eastern city of Manzanillo. And cruising along El Prado, we are going to call it a night, saying goodbye to Old Havana, and now cruising down El Malecón. On our next episode, we are going to explore the western side of the city. Until then, thank you for watching and enjoy your travels.
Mi valiosa perla cubana, ¿dónde están mi amanecer y mi mañana? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está mi Habana? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, de la que un día me marché? Y los charcos de agua en los que me reflejé. ¿Dónde están los amigos que dejé? Y aquellas viejas canciones que olvidé. ¿Dónde está mi adorado malecón? ¿Dónde están mi calle y mi balcón? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, tan cerca y tan lejana? ¿Dónde está la calle que me vio crecer, el parque que me vio correr? ¿Dónde están las playas en que me bañé, el cielo que me dio soñar? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, tan bella y tan amada? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, la que se me perdió, la que mi alma lloró? ¿Dónde está mi Habana, la que perdí de vista cuando aquel avión despegó de la pista? ¿Dónde está mi Habana? Yo quisiera volver.